First, we're going to shift your mindset because most likely, if you clicked on this video seeing testosterone guide for Christian men, you're going to think, hey, testosterone is really important and testosterone is going to change my entire life. I just do these things in this video. I'm going to raise my testosterone like 200 nanograms per deciliter, and then I'm going to grow some huge muscles. I'm going to be motivated all the time and all this other stuff, right? That's not really true. And the reason why you think that is because, if you do think that, is because self-improvement YouTubers have been lying to you. That's how they say testosterone is. And you see them. They sell courses, like a $200 course on how to raise testosterone. And I'm not against selling things, by the way. In fact, I'm an advocate of it, okay? People can either make a living doing crap or make a living actually educating people, but they put too much of a sell on testosterone. Testosterone is important, and you do need to have a lifestyle that facilitates the production of it. But don't think it's this magic thing, okay? And also, this video is going to be more about male important hormones for men. So testosterone, growth hormone, DHT, and although it's not a hormone, libido. That's what we're looking to do here. And this has a lot to do with general health. So with that all being said, let's get on to the first point. Realize you're in the situation of having a poisoned environment. You're being attacked on multiple different fronts. People like that chicken neck bastard Bill Gates want to have low testosterone. I mean, look at Bill Gates. If you look at one of my thumbnails, you see I highlighted the fact he has man boobs. I mean, Bill Gates gives some chicks like a run for the money when it comes to his cup size. And that guy has to have at least D cups. And he wants you to be like him. Just have these man boobs, right? Literal man boobs. Like not just fat man boobs, literal man boobs. That's what he wants for you. You live in a poisoned environment. You have the mental realm where you're being poisoned. You have shame for being a man. What does high testosterone make you do, right? What is a good hormonal profile, a healthy hormonal profile make you do? Well, you want to conquer things. You want to get things done. Libido's high. All right, you're not politically correct. Or you actually say what you mean. They don't like that. That's toxically masculine. Like you want to take up space, right? Because you're a man. Testosterone. Remember the body language guide. Men take up space. You start taking up space. He's toxically masculine. Let's make these gay benches with these little things in them so he can't spread his legs out all the way. That's really going to show him. This is the environment you're in. They don't want you to be a man. They want your testosterone to be low. They want your libido to be low. They want you to have no growth hormone. They want you to have no DHT. They want you to have nothing. All right. They want you like a little soy boy. All right. Talk a bit more about soy later. Now, in the physical realm, think about the food that's pushed you. McDonald's, Burger King. Go outside, drive for like 5 minutes, and let's say you were really hungry and you need something to eat. What would your options be? Well, you can either go into some supermarket and try and find some organic food and, somehow cook it, but that's going to take time, right? You have to take it all back home and then cook it. It's going to take time. What is the convenient food? Well, there's a McDonald's there, there's a Wendy's there, McDonald's, In-N-Out, all this other stuff. It's all right in front of you. It's set up so you go get the Big Mac, you go get the Wendy's, you go get the In-N-Out. And all that stuff is terrible for you. I don't think I need to tell you that. And we're going to talk a bit more about diet later, but obviously, junk food is not good for you. I know, wow. But that's what they want you to eat. And even these people, they lie all the time. And we're talking a bit more about this later again, but, meat is bad for you. Eggs are bad for you. Raw milk's bad for you. All this stuff's going to get you cancer and you're going to die of early age. Instead, take this Bill Gates-owned Beyond Burger meat and take this Bill Gates-owned synthetic steak, made in a lab, and eat it. That's what they want you to do instead. Does that make any sense? Really think about that. Oh, well, cows are farting, so the climate change is happening. Like, think about how dumb this stuff sounds. Okay, if you aren't a complete brainwashed idiot, you'll understand this is all a psyop. Now, what about the fat? The whole fat shaming thing. I mean, you've seen it. You can't call people fat because that's really bad. People are beautiful at all sizes and all this other crap. Again, realize the insanity we live in. Fat people are considered healthy. Although they're obviously not. Do I need to expand on that? I'm sure you understand fat people are not healthy. And really, this is all part of a bigger thing, okay? There's a lot of other things they want to do. Lots of things to do. So, but in this regard, okay, your hormonal profile is very important for your fertility. This goes for both men and women, but this guide is specific for men. They want you as infertile as possible, because then you can't have kids. And what does that mean for them? Less the population is going to decrease over time. And they may or may not want that. I don't know. You know, some crazy dude, like if my last name was Jones, and I was some crazy dude, I would say they're trying to, you know, lower the population, but that's crazy. Don't ever think that. Don't. If anyone says that, they're crazy, okay? But seriously, this is their goal, okay? They want you to have no kids. No kids. The less kids, the better. And when they crash your hormonal profile, your sperm is going to be basically useless. Okay? So, with that being said, you have to primarily go with the mindset of trying to avoid things, because you got to look at it like there's a bunch of mouse traps put around. All right, you're here and there's the door over there. All right, it's actually not that difficult to just walk in a straight line and go for the door, right? But to have these mouse traps with this cheese on it, and you're like a mouse, and you're like, here, look, cheese, look, it's cheese. Don't go into the trap. That's really, it's not even that difficult, okay? Just don't fall for the traps, okay? And I mean that literally and figuratively. If you know, you know. But don't fall for the traps. Just walk in a straight line. Don't be an idiot. Don't go full retard. So we're going to start with what to avoid in your diet. So soy. There's a reason why we call people soy boys. Now, I know people are like, do you have any evidence? Yeah, there's plenty of studies. For example, there's a catfish. They fed a bunch of soy. And I believe it was a male catfish to start. They fed it a bunch of soy. And then the catfish turned into a female. A gay catfish. Now, I know some people, because it's kind of like the atrazine in frogs, and I guess I'll just go over that really quickly. Water. Atrazine in the water turns frogs gay. Like, it transes frogs. You can look it up. Look up atrazine frogs on Google. You'll see it. And some people I've seen, I say some things like this, and like, well, that happens in catfish. That happens in frogs. So that's inconclusive. And these are the same people who say, like, well, you know, being gay is normal because monkeys have all this butt stuff together, right? It's like, bro, you're incongruent. But anyways, if it does that to an animal, all right, if it disrupts their hormonal profile, what makes you think it won't do it in humans as well? Think. These are the same people who say, like, we evolved from monkeys and, you know, we're the same as monkeys. Like, monkeys are 99% similar. They start pulling up how animals, you know, they have these issues, these certain foods. Like, well, those aren't human studies. Like, bro, like, pick one. And I don't know if evolution is true. I say probably not. It just doesn't make much sense. I mean, monkey, really? Am I supposed to believe that? Anyways, it's a bit off topic. BPA. So, I think everyone knows BPA is bad, right? But don't fall for the trap, because here's what they do. They take BPA, and they're like, well, everyone knows BPA is bad now. So what we're going to do is we're going to use BPS or BPF. Then we're going to label it BPA free, because it is BPA free. But they use something else, bisphenol F. I believe BPF is bisphenol F. But these are different types of plastics, and these plastics have the same issues as BPA. So when you get BPA free, it's all a trick, because they're just using BPS or BPF. Okay? That's very important to keep in mind, because most of these people, and trust me, this video is going to be so much more in depth than all those other people on YouTube, because they're going to be like, you should avoid BPA. Yeah, right, but are you going to talk about how BPS and BPF are just used instead? You're going to tell your viewers that, and then they're just going to go get some BPA free stuff, and it's going to have BPS or BPF in it. You're going to put it in the same exact spot. Now, plastic in general. You shouldn't be using plastic, because, I mean, the chemicals they use are terrible. Google it. Instead, try to use glass. For example, what I do is I have a water filter, and I filter water. You know that stuff they put in toothpaste. I don't know if I could say it, because YouTube gets touchy about this one. You know that stuff they put in toothpaste? That's supposed to make your teeth stronger. Yeah, that makes you dumb. Don't believe me, there was a government study that they refused to release, but it got forced out. I'll leave it in the comments if I remember. I'll leave it in the description if I recall. But look, This is a glass bottle. This is a sparkling water bottle. I save it, and I use a water filter, and I put the water in here. Boom, I avoid plastic. It's not that difficult. Now, aspartame. So aspartame recently was actually, WHO either linked it or was going to link it to cancer. And the truth is, aspartame, look at the patent, okay? And I'm about to blow some people's mind here, okay? Look at the patent for aspartame. Google aspartame patent. You'll see it's made from genetically modified E. coli fecal matter. If you don't believe me, look at it. I'm serious. I'm so serious right now. That's what aspartame is, and that's what your Diet Coke, your Diet Pepsi, your sugar-free gum, all this other crap. Aspartame. Now, I could talk about all the other things about aspartame, all the studies, but if you don't think genetically modified E. coli fecal matter is bad for you, then I don't know what to tell you. I think that's quite obvious. I mean, fecal matter in the first place, like, okay. E. coli fecal matter, what? Genetically modified E. coli fecal matter, like, it just adds on. But now we're talking about vegetable oils. So, this is stuff like canola, grapeseed. Although grapeseed's not as bad, but it's not good either. Grapeseed. What other ones are there? There's the regular vegetable oil, sunflower, safflower, this type of stuff. These oils aren't good for you. These oils are probably worse than sugar. And I'm not going to talk too much about sugar because, sugar's not good for you. In fact, actually, I'm going to talk a bit about sugar, free sugar versus added versus regular sugar. I don't know if regular is the right word, but anyways, vegetable oils. If you go to a restaurant, you're eating vegetable oils. Like 99%, you're eating vegetable oils. Now, if you're going to buy something like bread or crackers or cookies, all those are obviously bad, just look at the ingredients. Most likely it's going to have canola, sunflower. These oils aren't good for you, even if they're organic, because of the processing. And it's a real trick, because you see vegetable oils, it's like, vegetable oils, it must be good. Not true. And like I said, I think there was a study that showed like vegetable oils are like 500, 900, maybe 200, I don't recall, percent worse than sugar, processed sugar. Now, speaking of which, I'll go over sugar really quickly. There's natural sugar, I think that's the right word for it, which is naturally occurs in fruits. That's not bad, because it comes with fiber. Then there's free sugar. Now, this is a tricky one. Most people don't know about this. This is what, like, juice is. Because in juice, it's technically not added sugar if they just blend it up. But when you have free sugar, and juice is the best example, because people say, like, juice is good for you. And I do believe in some cases juice can be good for you, but you have juice, right? That's a blended up fruit. It loses the fiber. There's no more fiber in it. So you're basically just drinking added sugar. It's the same thing as very similar to drinking like water with maple syrup in it, or water with sugar in it. Now, of course, you get more nutrients. It's not as bad necessarily, but it digests the sugar, which is what we're worried about. The sugar digests just like added sugar, because the fiber slows down the digestion process. This is why processed carbs are bad, because processed carbs digest much quicker, and this spikes your insulin more, which is why people have issues with sugar, right? A very, very layman way of putting a nerdy subject, but just trust me, bro. You can look it up if you want. What I just said is accurate. So, then added sugar, I think, obviously we know. Like, a bunch of added sugar is not good for you. Do we need to elaborate on that? I'm running out of water. It's unfortunate. All right. So, junk food, obviously, you know what food's bad for you. Okay, you know McDonald's is bad. You know Pillsbury Doughboy cinnamon rolls are bad for you. You know those cream pies, not those type of cream pies, but cream pies aren't good for you either. Damn it, I wasn't supposed to laugh. Anyways, so we're going to talk about the foods you should be eating. So my diet, if you watch my fitness video, my physique video, you'll know my diet primarily consists of meat, eggs, and milk. That's primarily the thing. And sometimes I have some bread, wheat bread. Sometimes I might even have some pastry or a dessert if my mom gets it. But in general, that's the foundation. Okay, think about like Jesus' parable, right? You can build your house on the sand or on the rock. Think about it like that, okay? Your foundation, the rock foundation, should be meat, eggs, and milk. This is my foundation. This is stuff to say it's bad for you. They're like, well, meat causes cancer, eggs are going to raise your cholesterol a bunch, and milk, and they lie about milk. Because what they do with milk, and I'm going to tell you, The best forms of each is grass-fed beef, pasture-raised eggs, and raw milk. And what they do with milk is they do say it's good for you, but they say unorganic, pasteurized milk is good for you. I don't want to sound like I can't talk too much. I can't say exactly what I want to say because platforms don't like when I do. But just know it's not as good for you. In fact, some cases it's actually bad for you. You know, maybe unorganic, regular meat actually does cause cancer. I wouldn't be surprised. Grass-fed? No way. People have been eating grass-fed beef for thousands of years, and you're going to come here and tell me, well, it actually causes cancer and it's really bad for you. And then you're also going to tell me you should eat the lab-grown meat instead because climate change and also it's better for you. Am I supposed to believe that? Cows fart. Retard. Bill Gates. Now, again, I'm going to go over a bit more of the lies. So, there used to be a big lie about fats, and I think most people understand the lie now about how fat is bad for you. Fat is used for testosterone. Okay, and this is why beef, eggs, and raw milk is a very good combination because this is all very fatty food. This is all high protein food. Okay? The fat helps with testosterone. And same thing with cholesterol. They talk about cholesterol all the time. Cholesterol is bad. Cholesterol is bad. That's why they talk about meat. That's why they talk about milk. That's why they talk about eggs. Okay? Some milk. Right? Because some people talk about milk and they're like, milk is really high in cholesterol and all this other crap, right? Milk is used for cholesterol is used for testosterone. Now, think about it from the lens I just gave you earlier. They want you infertile and all this stuff. Why do you think they tell you all these things are bad when they're some of the best foods for cholesterol, which turns into testosterone? Now, it is true, there is bad cholesterol from like trans fats and what's not. But if you're eating actual healthy food, the cholesterol you get is going to be good. It's going to be used for testosterone. Right? Now, the role of carbs, I'm not necessarily a keto guy, but carbs are a tool. Now, I talked about this in my physique video. Carbs are used to spike your insulin strategically, or keep your insulin levels a bit higher, because insulin is anabolic. Insulin does help with muscle growth. However, when you have too much, you start getting insulin resistant, which leads to diabetes. And truthfully, that's why a lot of people have diabetes. They eat a bunch of carbs. Like, truthfully, if you just cut down your carbs, like your risk of diabetes drops drastically, but use carbs as a tool. Remember, your foundation is the rock. Your foundation shouldn't be on carbs. Okay? After you have your foundation, you can have some carbs. And I'm not going to say you have to have a certain amount of grams. Some people run better on more carbs. Some people run better on less carbs. But your foundation should be like beef, meat, beef, eggs, and milk. I truly do believe that. Now, maybe you could switch something out, like maybe instead of eggs, like fish or something like that. But in general, have a strong rock foundation. Now, fasting. Fasting helps with growth hormone. Studies have shown growth hormone goes up. I do believe it probably increases testosterone, DHT, and all this other stuff. Because, I just think about it logically. Our ancestors had to hunt for food. So, it wasn't like they just go open a fridge and get some food. They had to go out and actually do something, right? So, in order to help that, the brain knows, okay, well, we haven't eaten in a while, so I'm going to give more resources to facilitate the gathering of food. That just makes sense. So, those resources would be stuff like testosterone, growth hormone, all this other stuff. And if you try it, just because the first few days is going to be bad, especially if you eat quite frequently, but if you just stick on it for a week, you're going to notice your life changes. Now, starving. Don't starve yourself. Starving is bad. Because when I say fasting, some people are like, starve yourself? He's saying how do I... Yeah. This guy is saying you should starve yourself? That's really bad. You shouldn't starve yourself because you said you gotta fast. Fasting is starve yourself. No, it's not, retard. It just means you increase the time in which you don't eat. It doesn't mean starve yourself. Little Timmy. Now we're talking about clothing and, stuff kind of related. All of this stuff won't exactly be clothing, but it has to do with what comes into contact with your body, I suppose. Polyester. Avoid polyester. Polyester is a bunch of microplastics and it usually has BPA. Shouldn't have to go too far into that. You know what polyester is. Just get your clothing and look at the tag, especially on your underwear. Now, money. So money and receipts, this is kind of you could probably do some research. And I did a little bit of research and I saw it's probably true, but receipts, I'm pretty sure has BPA on it, and money. I mean, if you touch money, like just feel your hands and smell them. It's clearly dirty, and it kind of is something I got from my aunt and my mom and whatnot. But I think like inductively, I can go in my head and just touch money, and be like, yeah, I probably shouldn't eat after touching this. I probably shouldn't put my fingers in my mouth after this. Unlike something like this, like I could touch this and then eat food. But with money, it's different. If you know, you know. Radiation. So your phone has radiation. I don't know if it's EMF or whatever. I don't know. All I know is, those chicks that, they have like they put their phone in their bra. There's been a lot of correlations been shown between that and breast cancer. Businessmen who put their phone up to the ear all the time. Cancer around here. Same thing with people who put their phone in their pocket all the time. So what I would say is, I'm not going to say get rid of your phone because obviously you need it. But avoid putting it up. Avoid storing it on you, especially, I mean, we're men, so we're not going to do this, but especially avoid doing things like, equivalent to the woman putting the phone in their breast, okay? Because it's really stupid. I mean, obviously, that's not good. But I guess it makes it harder to steal. I guess that's the only benefit. I mean, but I think if someone steals a phone, I don't think they really care if they get a handful of tit, too. In fact, they'll probably think it's a bonus. Oh, it's terrible. Anyways, yeah, avoid putting your phone up to your skin all the time, even if it's through your clothing. And when you sleep, if your phone's in your room, which I don't recommend, this is not my bedroom. My bedroom's over there. I have 2 rooms. Suck on it. I'm 17. If you want to learn, I have videos about making money. But what I'm telling you actually does help. Because if you're some slob, and you live like a slob, it's going to be harder to actually be in a position where you can actually make money. Put yourself in a position to make money. Now, as far as, again, if you are going to sleep in the same room as your phone, put it on airplane mode. It'll help a little bit. Now, the sun. The sun is extremely important. Think of the sun like an energy source, all right? So, I believe the study was, you get sun on your chest that helps you generate vitamin D and testosterone and whatnot, growth hormone, and on your back. Chest and back's the 2 best spots. But according to another study, there is a 3rd spot that's actually the best to sun on. And that spot is your balls. In fact, I haven't actually been sunning my balls recently. I'll probably go out and do it after this video. But sun your balls. It does help. I've sunned my balls. It helps. And obviously, don't be a retard. Don't let people see you. Don't get charged with indecent exposure. Don't be an idiot. All right? But I do believe sunning your balls actually does help. You can say it's placebo. It's placebo. All these placebo people are retarded, by the way. If you say, like, oh, I've been doing this for a few years and it actually does help quite a bit, and you actually have results from it, and they're like, and you have some skinny nerd with a clipboard, and he's like, that's actually placebo. Don't listen to him. In fact, digitally smack him in the face. Now, how would you do it digitally? I don't know, but just don't actually, smack him in the face, because that could get me in trouble. So, now sleep. You've heard everything about sleep, circadian rhythm, blue light. I'm sure you know. But sleep is important. And growth hormones created in the first few hours of sleep. Don't eat too close to bedtime. Create a circadian rhythm. Use a blue light filter. You've heard it all with regards to sleep. Get like 8 to 10 hours of sleep. Very simple. Now, some people are like, well, I got to wake up really early, and I got homework, and I got all these extra clickers. It's going to be very hard to get a lot of sleep. That's what you get for using a cuck clock. That's what I call alarm clocks, because I don't use one. You know why? I made money, I was able to drop out. I'm not saying drop out, but I'm saying at least set yourself up to be in a position where you don't have to use one of those cuck clocks. One of those alarm clocks. Cuck clocks. I don't use alarm clocks. It's gay. Now, I'm going to go over some stress, right? So, there's good stress and bad stress. Now, there's a bit of a controversial opinion because you might think, well, all stress is bad in terms of testosterone because cortisol goes up, right? But I do think how you think has a lot to do with this, right? If you take stress and use it as energy in a sense, then I do think that can be good. But in general, you want to not be stressed. I say this to someone who used to be stressed all the time, and one of the best ways to decrease stress, which is underrated, is quitting vices. Quit video games. Oh, don't take my video games. Quit social media outside of productive use, which don't take that and run. And quit explicit content. You do those 3 things, you're going to be way less stressed. You know, you could take supplements, ashwagandha, all sorts of stuff. You may think, why haven't I talked about supplements? Because it's not that important. Like, listen, I'll give you the brief on supplements. If you can't get the sun, take vitamin D, K2 for your bones, ashwagandha, tonkat ali, horny goat weed. There you go. I just gave you everything you need to know about supplements. Now, maybe if you're deficient like potassium, magnesium, or omega-3, take those, right? There you go. I just told you everything about supplements. You don't need a 20-minute video talking about, this is supplements you got to take. It's all BS. This is not going to make that much of a difference. But back to the original point, you know, good stress versus bad stress. In general, you don't want to be stressed all the time. All right? Now, moving over some quick hitting points. Body fat stores estrogen and produces estrogen. So if you're some fat dude, you're probably going to be high in estrogen, which is why a lot of fat dudes have tits. Not just because they're fat, like Bill Gates. Think of like Bill Gates. Bill Gates literally has boobs. Like I said earlier, Bill Gates has like double D's. Giving girls a run for their money. That's because he is so fat and he's so unfit and he murders so many people. He makes it, how does that correlate? It does correlate because I said so. That's why he got it, because estrogen. And what does estrogen create? Boobs. So if you're high in estrogen, you can get tits. So don't be high in estrogen. Obviously, I don't think I have to go too far into that, right? But body fat stores estrogen and produces estrogen. If you're fat, you should be looking to get rid of that fat, because that fat's going to help a lot with your hormonal profile. Or losing the fat will help a lot with your hormonal profile. Now, if you want more help with that, check out my physique video. I'll have to make a video about diet, bulking, cutting, and all the other stuff in the future, but the physique video should give you a pretty good brief on it. Now, workout. Duh. I'm not going to get too far into this, but lift heavy, helps with your hormones, makes your bones denser, all those other stuff. You don't need me to tell you why working out is good. In fact, in the end screen for this video, I'll probably put the workout video, the physique video, because I've referenced it quite a lot in this video, but workout. I know. I'm so smart. I'm coming up with things you never heard of before. And to be honest with that joke, I'm kind of sliding myself, because I've probably told you a lot of things you never heard of before. But working out, I mean, you've heard before. Like, it's not rocket science. I'm not going to be one of these people who drags out the video an extra 40 minutes to talk about working out. You know working out's good for you. Now, like I said at the start, there's no magic pill, all right? Don't think, well, if I increase my testosterone a little bit, like 100 nanograms per deciliter, then I'm going to be like Ronnie Coleman. No. Ronnie Coleman takes steroids. Get that out of your head. But this is all part of a bigger movement, because truthfully, testosterone is important. It's just not as important as like the other people told you, but it is important. Because if you're a little low T soy boy, and this is according to study, now, do you have a study reference? Yeah, Google it. If you have less testosterone, you're more likely to be docile in compliance. High T people are willing to disagree more. And this is why it's very important for Christian men to be high T, because there's, like I said at the start, there's a movement against you. They don't want you to have kids. They want you to be in pause. They want you to own nothing and be happy. Be happy. They want the worst for you. They want the worst for you, and they want the worst for me. You can work against that by increasing your testosterone. Take action yourself. All right? Because you're not going to go to have it. Because it's like, you know that one joke where it's like the dude who's stranded at sea, and, a sailor comes up, like, to a ship, is like, here, come, we're going to save you. And then he's like, no, I'm waiting for God to save me, right? And then the guy in the ship's like, well, are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, they leave. And then the guy dies in the sea. And he goes to heaven, he's like, why didn't you save me? He's like, and then God's like, I sent you the help. I sent you a ship. It's like that. And I tell you about that because you have to be in an action mindset, okay? Maybe because a lot of people are like, well, that's hedonistic and all this other crap. No, it's not, first of all, because the Bible does give us commands. The Bible tells us to be strong, respectable, provide, and protect, right? Men. That's what the Bible tells us. This could very well be your opportunity to actually take up the helm and start making a difference. This video is about testosterone. I made videos about other stuff. That's the whole point here. Build back Christian men. If you want to join the movement, check the link in the description to the Discord. Go to my website, give me your email so I can send you newsletters, give you a competitive advantage. Follow my Instagram, like my posts because my Instagram is amazing, and it'll make my Instagram look better. And subscribe for more videos. Those are my call to actions. See you in the next video.